Shalom, beloved family. It's your girl Sophia Spiritualite, formerly known as Hotep Sophia, also known as Dominique Rebel, and we're here for our daily prayer and reading. Of course, we do every morning at Thamur and then every evening at Sessor, and we pray. We read a psalm, and then we do a quick 3-card pull just to see what messages we can get from the angels so that we can better prepare ourselves emotionally for the day. So, without further ado, let's get started. All praise, all glory, and all honor go to the Most High, the King of kings, the Lord of lords, the great I am, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Enoch, Moses, and Solomon. We thank you for another day to labor in your vineyard. We ask for permission to speak with the angels for just a few moments so that we can gain a better understanding of some things that may come up for us today. When we enter herein with all humanity, let God the Almighty One enter into this place by the entrance of an eternal happiness, of a divine prosperity, of a perfect joy, of an abundant charity, and of an eternal salutation. Let all demons fly from this place, especially those who are opposed to this work, and let the angels of peace assist and protect the children of light, from which let discord and strife fly and depart. Magnify and extend upon us, O Lord, thy most holy name, and bless our conversation and our assembly. Sanctify, O Lord, our God, our humble entry herein, thou, the blessed and holy one of the eternal ages. To the Holy Mother, we thank you for allowing us. We thank you for walking with us. We thank you for guiding us. And we thank you for being with us. O Divine Mother, illumine me with divine wisdom, vivify me with divine life, and purify me with divine love, that in all I think and say and do, I may be more and more thy child. We acknowledge our older, wiser brother Yahushua and his perfect example of what we can accomplish on this earth. And to the angels, to our personal guardian angels, to the archangels, to the Council of 12, to the Council of 24, to the 42-letter name of the Most High, to the 72-letter name of the Most High, to the 144-letter name of the Most High, to the 216 angels that sit atop the tree of life, to the angels whose names we know and the ones whose names we do not know. We invite you to come and be with us for just a few moments and give us a message that's clear, easy for us to understand, easy for us to apply, and timely. And when you fulfill this covenant with us, we will report back to the Most High that you have done what you promised. We thank you for all of your hard work. We think you guys are doing a great job, and we appreciate your service to the kingdom. All right, let's do Psalm 51. I put it in a new order so it's easy. All right. Have mercy upon me, O God, according to thy loving kindness, according unto the multitude of thy tender mercies, blot out my transgressions. Wash me thoroughly from mine iniquity and cleanse me from my sin. For I acknowledge my transgressions, and my sin is ever before me. Against thee, thee only have I sinned, and done this evil in thy sight, that thou mightest be justified when thou speakest, and be clear when thou judgest. Behold, I was shapen in iniquity, and in sin did my mother conceive me. Behold, thou desirest truth in the inward parts, and in the hidden part thou shalt make me to know wisdom. Purge me with hyssop, and I shall be clean. Wash me, and I shall be whiter than snow. Make me to hear joy and gladness, that the bones which thou hast broken may rejoice. Hide thy face from my sins, and blot out all mine iniquities. Create in me a clean heart, O God, and renew a right spirit within me. Cast me not away from thy presence, and take not thy Holy Spirit from me. Restore unto me the joy of thy salvation, and uphold me with thy free spirit. Then will I teach transgressors thy ways, and sinners shall be converted unto thee. Deliver me from blood guiltiness, O God, thou God of my salvation, and my tongue shall sing aloud of thy righteousness. O Lord, open thou my lips, and my mouth shall show forth thy praise. For thou desirest not sacrifice, else would I give it. Thou delightest not in burnt offering. The sacrifices of God are a broken spirit, a broken and contrite heart, O God, thou wilt not despise. Do good in thy good pleasure unto Zion. Build thou the walls of Jerusalem. Then shalt thou be pleased with the sacrifices of righteousness, with burnt offering and whole burnt offering. Then shall they offer bullocks upon thine altar. All right, so as usual, shout out to the Madamites. I do have on my red today. All the lovely Madamites I know. Shout out to you guys. So here we go. We have our Tarot of Light deck. Of course, this is a beginner deck. It's it correlates directly with the Rider Waite. It's easy to use. We use this deck every day. At first, I thought it was a little bit. It wasn't complicated, but this deck actually is in depth. I would say complicated in depth. I didn't think this deck was so in depth, but the more we use it, the more I see it's taking on the personality of what we needed to. So we'll definitely stick with this deck for the rest of the year and just see what information we can get from it. So again, we have our deck here. All praise, all glory, and all honor go to the Most High, the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, Enoch, Moses, and Solomon. We ask permission to speak with the angels for just a few moments so that we can get some messages that will be helpful for us to navigate through today. We thank the earthly mother for always being with us and walking with us along the path of life. We acknowledge our older, wiser brother Yahweh and his perfect example of what we can accomplish. And of course, the angels we've already called in. We ask that you give us a message that's clear, that's easy to understand, that's easy for us to interpret, that's just the right message for right now and describes an immediate time frame, not some, way far off thing, something that we can use right now. And of course, we know that we are terrible clients. We never listen, follow instructions. We go off and do our own thing, and it's really, really horrible. So we are sincere in our desire and our thankfulness and our gratefulness that of your service to the kingdom, because we would have no hope of at all being able to come into order with the Most High without the angels interceding for us and clearing the way and being at our service, and also being commanding us and also being at our service and bringing us the answers and information that we need. So we are very grateful for all of your hard work, and we understand that we do have a long way to go, but we are trying. We are making the effort, and that's all the people who are here, all the people who are seeking, are finding. And so we are grateful for this internet ley line. We can vibrate these messages through and get them to the people, even the ones who are not here. The nation is being benefited greatly by this information. I see the stuff that we talk about here going out and coming back through the ley lines, and I am grateful for that verification and justification from the angels. So, all right. No cards fell out. I just did my own reading, and I had like 1,000 cards fall out. All right, so our first card, Visions. This is the Three of Stars, Visions. All right. Our second card is, Shadow card, Fear. Here we go. And our third card is Hope, the Star. Very, very heavy into the stars today. All right, so let me do our fancy zoom here where I actually move the camera closer to the cards so that you are able to see them. All right. thing. All right, so let's see what we got here. First card is a 3 of Stars. All right, so the 3 of Stars, this is in the past position, which would have been yesterday. So it's called visions. Illuminations and inspirations are flittering inward and outward, showing more avenues to explore and desires to satisfy. The 3 of Stars declares that something you have put a great deal of time and energy into is about to manifest. Whether a project, promotion, or new business, this is an exciting period of expansion and growth. There is a desire to experiment with new and different approaches to life that will extend your skills and comfort zone. Trust you will succeed at whatever you put your mind to. Be flexible and let the moment decide your response. And this correlates with the 3 of Wands, which is practical knowledge, um, enterprise, trade, and compromise. And of course, our Wands is fire. So we lit some, well, hopefully, I mean, so this would have been yesterday. The cosmic weather was pretty decent. Not really. I find myself referring back to this cosmic weather. I need to put it into my chart so that it's easier for me to find. So yesterday the cosmic weather was La Nava. We had I mean, it was neutral, I would say altogether it was not great. It was not great. We had a great deal of really negative energy, and so oh, that makes sense. So the 3 of Stars says that we yesterday were able to put some of our um, we were able to put some of our skills into actual use, into physical use, and manifest some things into reality. And hopefully everybody was able to, they accomplished something. So like I said, when we have really bad energy for certain days, you can still use that energy to you can still use that energy. It's just the difference between harnessing energy and harvesting energy. So what you want to do is when we have good and neutral time periods, you want to harness the energy, which means you want to try and um, put good things into those time periods, right? And when you're going to harvest the energy, that means you want to redirect the negative energy into something positive. It's like transmute. You want to transmute the energy on bad when the energy that's coming in is bad, so that we can use it for our good. And I think that we're able to do that. In general, I think the fact that we are clear about the purpose of the Esau's troubles and looking at what's going on in the news, and that's so that we can confirm that our requests to the angels are being carried out, because there's no other way we would know. And so I think that people in the past, perhaps the angels brought them the messages in different ways. I don't think so, because I get the sense that I get the sense that our people have always been ones to sit around and talk about stuff. And I say that because if you look at Proverbs 31 and what the woman does in Proverbs 31 versus what the man does when it talks about a virtuous wife. The woman is the one who's going around talking to people, getting stuff done, considering the field and buying it. And the man is sitting with his people somewhere and they're talking about stuff. And so I get the feeling that that's how our people naturally do that. So they naturally look and see, if They got the information from one another if their prayers were being answered or not. And since our people have been so destroyed that we take that natural inclination we have to see what the angels are doing on our behalf by talking to everybody else and seeing, getting the news from our own people. That well, I have a great example of this. That they've taken that and they've turned it around and turned it into this whole gossip thing, like with the celebrities and whatnot. But in actuality, our people have always been like that, and it's not in a gossipy way. It's in a way that we're just trying to verify if the angels have are answering our prayers. So the example that I have of this is that during slavery times, everybody knew that the people who were at the post office, which I have some more understanding about the usefulness of the post office now, but the people who were assigned to go to the post office were the ones who. So, okay, let me put it this way. The reason why I know that the way they talk about Juneteenth is wrong is because the information was getting through the black community the same way it was getting through the white community. Black people would listen to what was going on, our people, and then they would go back and tell the other slaves, and the word of mouth would get passed. So if you were wondering if your prayer was being answered or whatever, the information would come to you through the post office. It's like the ley line of the post office. That's how the information was getting passed around. So there's no way that the slaves were told they were free wherever 2 years after everyone else. That doesn't make any sense, because there were post office everywhere by then, at least in every major city, and everybody used the post office. That's how they were inducting people into their secret societies. So the post office was used. So the fact that they're saying, boy, this has nothing to do with this. So the fact that they're saying those people in Texas didn't find out till 2 years later and all of that, no, that's just so that they could put a astrological point on the emancipation so that it would fail. You know what I mean? And I haven't looked up the transits yet for that particular day in that particular place, but I'm assuming just based on what I know, I'm assuming that Saturn was in some kind of retrograde and it was like in a terrible house, so that it would take 30 years for that actual information to be not passed to us, but implemented with us. So it would take 30 years for us to actually separate from that, because that's what these people do. Remember, they've had this knowledge. They took our knowledge. They had it, right? So anyway, that's kind of, long story short, back to the I don't know, but I get the feeling that our people have always passed information. We've always gotten the accounts of whether the angels are doing what we ask from each other. And so we're not getting the information from each other, then there's no other way we'd be able to get the information to see if our prayers are being answered, if the Most High is sending the angels to do what we request. Therefore, I think that now, since we have an understanding of that's the communication point for us and the angels, it's a lot less of, oh, well, y'all are like this, y'all are like that, Esau's troubles. No. We want to know if our prayers, if our fasting, if what we're doing is working, because it's like a cipher. Like, you have to figure out the cipher of the angels. And of course, the tarot cards help. This cosmic weather, this stuff is helpful. It brings it all into, there are multiple ways the angels communicate. They don't communicate in just one way. And so the people who are cutting themselves off from these other multiple ways of the angels communicating, they're really missing out, because there's an angel over all of this stuff. And so maybe the only answer we can get is from the angels of Medim. Well, if we need to get the answers from the angels of Medim and you don't know what Medim is, how it operates, what color is associated with it, they could be trying to give you this message and it's going right over your head, because you don't have no connection with the angels of Medim. So this is why all of this stuff matters. Anyway, I don't know what that has to do with visions. Oh, practical knowledge. Huh? So this is the practical knowledge that we had. This is how we use the practical knowledge that we do have. And the more practical knowledge we have, like understanding what the days, Shemesh, Lanava, Rana, Salam, Thamur, the more practical knowledge we have, the better it is for us to communicate with the Most High in the language that He speaks, as opposed to us forcing Him to communicate in the language that we speak. It's like, if you know that the Most High left you messages, He left us messages everywhere before the foundation of the earth, so that we would be able to find our way back to Him. But you do no searching for how those messages would be communicated. You could have all kinds of messages everywhere, and you would have no idea what any of them mean, and you would just be living your life in complete ignorance, when in fact all the messages, all the signs are there. You just can't read them because you don't speak that language. You haven't taken time to connect with the language. And again, if we take one step, the Most High takes 100. So, engaging in these kind of practices and just taking the first step is a huge advantage to us as a nation. And we can see the information is being passed through the internet ley lines. So we have way more power than we understand by tapping into this internet ley line with one another, right? All right, so I don't think that's what that was about, but that's what I had to say. I mean, that's what had to be said. Not I had to say it. It came out of my mouth. I have no idea what I'm talking about. All right. So the next card is the shadow, which is fear. Fear has become a scapegoat for your pain as you cower in the shadow. Step out of the shadow and fear will transform into love. The shadow unravels anything that still ties you up in knots. The shadow is a secret darkness deep within you. You created this place to store any feelings and situations that scare you. This could be rage, violence, revenge, rebellion, or repressed sexuality. You could be punishing yourself for things that were not your fault, or storing dreams and desires you did not think were possible. You created the shadow and you can heal it. Your shadow is a part of you that longs to be embraced in love. It is not bad, clever, deceitful, or trying to hurt you. Like any unbalanced energy, it seeks harmony so it can realize its potential. This card may represent a destructive habit or relationship. Be wary of tying yourself to a situation or making a promise you will not want to keep. And this correlates with the devil card, which is subordination, bondage, self-destruction, and violence. And of course, let's see, we're in Medim. This is kind of Medim energy, right? So not only is Medim going to be a pretty bad energy wise, which is why I'm up. This is right now it's 12:55 a.m. and I wanted to get this done and posted because it's going to be pretty bad energy today. And so instead of if you weren't able to tap into the energy between midnight and 6 a.m. when this is the only good energy for the whole day, it's going to be a lot of shadow work for you today. So instead of when you see the fear coming up, the fear in other people, whatever is going on, when you see it coming up, the best thing for you to do is to not engage. Remember something I said yesterday. You can deal with something by ignoring it. You can. What do I mean by that? What does it mean? You can deal with something by ignoring it, meaning you don't have to engage something in order to deal with it. You can simply let it go. Oh, let the thought come in and come out. So like, when you're dealing with your conscious mind, you have thoughts come in, you have thoughts come out. You don't know where the thoughts come from. We don't even know what thoughts are, but we don't know where they come from either. So and a lot of stuff is, again, demons being sent to attack you. So when a thought comes in, a way of dealing with that thought is to ignore it. Like the thought comes in, I want a cheeseburger. And you could just be like, I don't want a cheeseburger. You could just say, instead of when the thought comes in, I want a cheeseburger, you could be like, that's interesting. So you acknowledge that the thought is there, but then you don't act on it. And that's how you can do a lot of your shadow work. You can acknowledge that the feelings are there, but you don't have to act on every single thought that you have. And a lot of the 2/3, especially, they act on every thought that they have because they don't have any control over your thoughts. So while you're developing these visions in the past, the first card, and the fear comes up that's associated with certain visions, you can acknowledge it, but you don't have to act on it. And it's the same difference between harvesting and harnessing. You can harness the energy of having the thought to say, for example, with the cheeseburger, you can say, okay, I want a cheeseburger. Then you can say in your mind, oh, okay, that's interesting. Then you could turn that into, let me think about some meal planning for my fast so that I know what I'm going to eat for breakfast and what I'm going to eat for dinner. Let me start thinking about that. So you're harvesting the energy of thinking about food, but you're harvesting that energy to redirect it on something that would be useful to you, which is, what am I going to eat during my fast? What is some meal plans I could come up with? That kind of thing. That's the process. Like, you have the thought, you see, oh, I've had this thought, and then you harvest the energy and say, okay, instead of thinking about a cheeseburger, why don't I think about how I'm going to deal with this fast? Another way, or another example, a difference is between harvesting and harnessing. So like in the first card, if you're wondering how to harness your visions, you can have an idea, which is, oh, I want a cheeseburger. And to harness that energy, you can say, I wonder what other toppings I'm going to put on this cheeseburger when I get it. It's the getting. So so if you look at it like that, then you're like, oh, okay, well, when I get this cheeseburger, I'm going to put tomatoes on it. I want ketchup and mustard. I want this and that. You're harnessing the energy to create the perfect cheeseburger. Does that make any sense? That's how I do it. When I have to harvest the energy, I bypass the actual idea and I redirect it to something I actually want. And when I harness the energy, I go into it. I build it up so that I can actually see it. I can actually taste it. Like, oh man, I'm gonna have this cheeseburger, and it's gonna have American cheese. No, it's not gonna have American cheese. It's gonna have cheddar cheese, ketchup and mustard, maybe some lettuce, and this and that, and this and that. So that's the difference between harnessing and harvesting, which has nothing to do with this reading. But anyway, so as the fear, it does. So as the fear comes up, as the unsurety comes up, we have, like I said, Madim, this energy is not going to be really great today. So you can harvest that energy and redirect it into something you want. So if you see a lot of bad financial news coming up, you can harvest that energy and say, okay, well, for financial stuff, if it comes into your mind, like me, like, man, I'm not going to have anywhere to live because I don't have any money to pay my rent. Instead of focusing on that I don't have any money to pay my rent, I can say, well, when I do move, I do want to move into a house, and I want the house to be like on a nice piece of land, and I want to, be able to grow my vegetables, and, I still need my space to do my experiments. And so I'm not dwelling in the fear aspect of what I've said. I'm redirecting it to to something that could be more useful, to turning my thoughts into a thing. I hope that's helpful for some people, because I don't think I've ever heard it quite explained like that. But that's the difference. Here we're going to talk about harnessing and versus harvesting. And when these cards come up that aren't really great, we're going to talk about how to harvest that energy instead of harnessing that energy. Okay? All right, the last card we have, and I went, oh my goodness. I really hope that was helpful for someone, because I went on and on about that. All right, so the star, that's our last card. That's in the future position. So obviously we have hope coming in. We want to harness that energy. We want to enhance it. So stars shine the brightest when it is dark. Out of your and this is exactly, oh my, this is okay. Out of your darkness comes a singular point of faith and hope to shine, to light the way. Shine. So this is the point of harnessing energy versus harvesting energy. You're going to come to that singular point, but when you harness the energy, you enhance the singular point. When you harvest the energy, you bypass the original idea and you turn it, you transmute it into a singular point that is actually to your benefit. So the star indicates a new start inspired by hope. Through a challenge or a new eye, you have come to know what is truly meaningful and develop the skills, knowledge, or passion required to start something new. The worst is over. Allow the light of your star to gleam over you. Breathe in its light and know you are worthy and ready to shine. Help is coming from unexpected places. You may have your faith in humanity renewed. Over the coming days, the aha moments will come in thick and strong. This is a beautiful, positive card. The star energy will take you from where you are to where you want to go. And this correlates with the star, of course, which is faith, inspiration, bright prospects, and hope. So, again, this is exactly what I'm saying. We have some negative energy that's wrapped in positive energy, right? So we're going to harness the positive energy of the stars. And, of course, stars correlate to, what did I say, air, fire. We're going to wrap the negative energy up in fire and burn it, and we'll be left with a singular point of hope that we can focus on. So again, your thoughts do become things, but they become things because your subconscious is going to manifest what comes up. So in order to harness that energy, in order to harvest that energy, you need to bypass the negative part of it and get to the singular point of positivity that you can focus on, that feels real to you. And it's an internal thing. It has to feel real to you. And so when you choose to focus on the singular point that feels real to you, then you're able to bypass the negative that could be coming up and really transmute that into a positive that will be beneficial to you. And so it's almost like it's like the phoenix rising from the ashes, out of the thought of, man, I'm not going to have anywhere to live, rises from that ashes. Okay, well, when I do move, I'm going to have this nice house and I'm going to live like this and I need this and this and this. And you're creating in your mind whatever it is that you want. You're not being stuck with, okay, this is this negative thing, and you're making the negative thing come faster. This also correlates with our cosmic weather for this week, because the star would be our hopeful energy is going to come on Kokav, and Kokav is a really good day, as I said, to get something done. Actually, the whole point of Kokav, please get something done. Do not do like I did last week on Kokav and get nothing done. You will tremendously regret it, because the energy coming in through the end of Zedek, Noga, it's just not great energy. So you want to get as many things done as you can on Kokav. You want to harness as much of the good energy that's coming in on Kokav as you can, and then you'll be able to harvest the bad energy, or the negative, the bad energy that's coming in on Noga, so that you can use that to fuel your good energy, the good foundation that you've already laid. And that's how you have to build your week. This week, every week is different, but this particular week it's going to be Kokav. Last week the energy was not great on Kokav, but this week the energy is good on Kokav, so you want to use that, and that's coming up. We'll have hopeful things happening on Kokav to harvest, right? So, all right, let me write this down. I'll let you guys take a look. I think I've gone on in enough detail about this now. Hopefully y'all enjoy the go-go, the DC in the house. Sorry this is so long, but I was thinking about earlier I needed to explain the difference between harness and harvest so we can be on the same page moving forward. All right, I'm going to grab my cheat sheets and we'll do the blessing of the Sephirot. It's not even what I said to do. All right. Reposition myself. All right, the blessing of the Sephirot. Blessed be the light beyond all being. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Keter. Blessed be the breathing of origination. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Chokma. Blessed be eternal wisdom. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Bina. Blessed be omniscient understanding. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Chesed. Blessed be perpetual compassion. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Gavura. Blessed be almighty justice. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Tiferet. Blessed be transcendent beauty. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Netzach. Blessed be unceasing victory. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Hod. Blessed be surpassing glory. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Yesod. Blessed be infallible foundation. Forever blessed be the mighty one. Malchut. Blessed be all life throughout the kingdom. Forever blessed be the mighty one. All praise, all glory, all honor go to the mighty one, the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Enoch, Moses, and Solomon. We thank you for allowing us to speak with the angels for just a few moments. And we would like to report back that they have given us a message that's clear, that's easy to understand, that's easy for us to implement, and we would like that information to be noted to their record in a positive way. We thank the Earthly Mother for always being with us and walking with us down the path. We acknowledge our older, wiser brother Yahweh and his perfect example. And we thank the angels for showing up and giving us a message that's clear, that's easy for us to understand, that's easy for us to implement. We know that, again, we are terrible, terrible, terrible clients, but we thank you tremendously for all of your hard work. And we appreciate your service to the kingdom. Baruch Shem Kavod Malchuto Lo'olam Vayed. Blessed be the name of his glorious kingdom throughout eternity. Ha Rashaman Hu Yashazir Lanu Avodat Biet. Ha Migdash Lim Koma Bimhira Biyamanu Omen, 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 and Selah. May the merciful one restore unto us the service of his holy temple to its place speedily and in our days. Amen, 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 and Selah. To the spirits who are here with us, you're invited to go in peace. To my beloved family, you're invited to be in peace. And always remember, the Most High is your peace. Shalom, everyone, and we'll see you for the reading at Sassource.